The NBA training facility buzzed with energy, sneakers squeaking, basketballs echoing, coaches barking instructions. The air was thick with anticipation, every player hoping to make an impression, every movement watched and measured. It was a place where dreams were made, or broken, in the blink of an eye. For me, Carlo Reyes, it was the sound of my dream. Every bounce of the ball was a heartbeat, every whistle a reminder of how far I'd come. I was just a kid from Manila, but here, I felt like I belonged among giants. I had flown from Manila, carrying the hopes of my family and neighborhood. Their faces flashed in my mind as I stepped off the plane, my mother's proud smile, my father's reassuring nod, my friends' excited cheers. I wasn't just playing for myself, I was playing for everyone who had ever believed in me. I felt fast, sharp, and ready. My heart pounded with excitement and nerves as I laced up my sneakers, telling myself that this was my moment, that I could prove I belonged on this court. The drills were brutal, but I kept up, weaving through giants with pure determination. Every sprint, every jump, every shot was a battle against doubt. I pushed myself harder, determined to show that heart could outshine height. I believed I belonged until the evaluations. The pressure was suffocating, and suddenly the court felt much bigger, the lights much harsher. A scout called me over, barely glancing at my stats. His eyes skimmed the paper, uninterested, as if my story was already written before I even spoke. He looked at my 5'9" frame and said, "You're quick, kid, but you're too short for this league. This isn't the Philippines." His words cut deeper than any missed shot, dismissing not just my size, but everything I represented. The words stung, dismissing not just my size, but my heritage. It was as if my years of hard work, my sacrifices, meant nothing in the face of a number on a measuring tape. Laughter from another scout made it worse. Their amusement echoed in my ears, making me feel smaller than ever, as if my dream was a joke to them. I stood frozen, dreams crumbling in my hands. The ball slipped from my fingers, and for the first time, the court felt like enemy territory. I walked out, the gym's sounds fading behind me. Each step felt heavier, the echo of the closing door a final punctuation to my hopes. The city felt cold, unwelcoming. The bright lights and bustling streets that once seemed full of promise now felt distant, indifferent to my pain. I had been measured and found wanting, not for my skill, but for inches I couldn't grow. Alone in my hotel room, I stared at my reflection, questioning everything I'd worked for. The journey home felt like a retreat from a dream, now impossibly out of reach. As the plane lifted off, I wondered if I'd ever get another chance, or if the closed door would haunt me forever. At Ninoy Aquino International Airport, my family's embrace melted the sting of rejection. My mother's tears, my father's proud hand, my sister's sign, "Our champion," reminded me I was loved. No one asked about failure, they celebrated my courage. At home, the smell of adobo and laughter filled the air. My father said, "They can measure your height, but not your heart. Your journey is just beginning." The neighborhood rallied, sharing food and encouragement. They recalled the boy who played until his hands were raw, who never backed down. Their love was a stark contrast to America's cold indifference. Here, I was Carlo, their hero. That night, hope replaced heartbreak. My family's belief gave me new perspective. The dream wasn't dead, just rerouted. I wouldn't let them down. For the first time since leaving that gym, I felt hope. I turned heartbreak into fuel. I turned heartbreak into fuel. I turned heartbreak into fuel. Before dawn, I trained on a faded Manila court, determined to outwork my limits. I studied smaller NBA guards, Muggsy Bogues, Allen Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, breaking down their every move. My room became a film library, my notebooks filled with strategies. On the court, I drilled my shot, sharpened my handles, and built relentless stamina. My father watched silently, his presence all the encouragement I needed. I wasn't just playing, I was forging a weapon. Every drop of sweat was a promise to myself. I was building a new version of me, ready for the next opportunity. My hard work paid off. I was drafted into the PBA. Doubts about my size followed, but I was ready. Used sparingly at first, I made every minute count. On defense, I was a pest. On offense, a blur. My energy and hustle won over teammates and fans. They called me the Manila Flash for my speed and heart. My minutes grew, and so did my confidence. I became a leader, carrying my team with clutch plays. The whispers about my height faded, replaced by cheers. I proved that skill and determination could triumph over size. PBA Finals, 5 seconds left, down by 2. Double-teamed, I used a move I'd practiced 1,000 times, a devastating crossover. I stepped back behind the arc and launched the shot as the buzzer sounded. Silence, then a deafening roar as the ball swished through the net. My teammates lifted me in celebration. The moment went viral, a fan's video spreading worldwide. Basketball fans everywhere marveled at the Manila Flash. Sports sites wrote about the undersized Filipino guard with an oversized heart. The clip wasn't just a highlight, it was a story of overcoming pressure. Unbeknownst to me, those who once dismissed me were watching. The shot was heard round the world. Everything was about to change. Weeks after the championship, I found myself back in the gym, the familiar squeak of sneakers echoing in the empty space. The adrenaline of victory had faded, replaced by the steady rhythm of early morning drills. Each shot, each sprint, was a reminder that the journey never truly ends, it just evolves. Then out of the blue, my phone rang. It was an international call. My heart raced as I answered. On the other end, a representative from an NBA G League team invited me to their camp. The opportunity I dreamed of was suddenly real, and I could hardly believe it. The location? It was the very same facility where years ago I'd faced rejection. The memory of that day was still vivid, the sting of being told I wasn't enough. Now I was returning, not as a hopeful kid, but as someone determined to confront the past and rewrite my story on my own terms. Walking into that gym, I felt a surge of confidence. I was no longer the uncertain kid from Manila, doubting if I belonged. I was a champion now, shaped by rejection, fueled by relentless work, and strengthened by every setback I'd overcome. During the intense drills, I caught sight of a familiar face, a scout who had once dismissed me without a second thought. After the session, he approached me, a look of humility and respect in his eyes that I hadn't seen before. "I was wrong," he admitted quietly. "I judged you by your height, not your heart. I'm sorry for that." The apology was genuine, a moment of closure I never expected but deeply appreciated. It felt like a weight had been lifted. I nodded, a smile breaking through. "Thank you. I appreciate that more than you know." In that moment, I realized I had nothing left to prove to him or to anyone else who doubted me. I was here for myself, to prove that I belonged, that my journey was my own, and that I was worthy of this second chance. The gym's echoes were the same as before, but I was different, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. This was my second chance, and I was ready to seize it with everything I had. I dominated G League camp, pushing myself harder than ever before, determined to prove I belonged. Every drill, every scrimmage, I gave it everything I had. My relentless effort paid off. I earned a contract, and suddenly, I was turning heads. Coaches, scouts, and even my teammates started to see me differently. I wasn't just another hopeful. I was a real contender, someone who had fought for every inch of progress. My journey was followed closely back home. My family, friends, and even people I'd never met tuned in, cheering for me from thousands of miles away. In our small community, every game I played was an event. They celebrated every win, felt every loss, and believed in me even when the odds seemed impossible. Then, the call came, one I'd dreamed about since I first picked up a basketball. I was being called up to the NBA. My hands shook as I answered, and when I heard the words, I could barely believe it. All the years of sacrifice, the early mornings and late nights had led to this life-changing moment. My debut was a home game, and my family was right there in the stands, beaming with pride. Seeing their faces, knowing how much they'd given up for me to chase this dream, made the moment even more special. Their cheers echoed louder than the entire arena. Every sacrifice, every setback, every ounce of sweat and pain had led to this moment. I remembered the mornings I trained alone, the nights I doubted myself, and the times I almost gave up. But I kept going, fueled by a dream bigger than myself. When I checked in, the crowd roared. The energy was electric, and for a second, time seemed to stand still. I felt the weight of every person who had ever believed in me, and I knew I was playing for all of them. I played with the same fire and puso that defined my journey. Every drive, every pass, every shot was fueled by passion and heart. I wanted to show the world that where you come from doesn't limit how far you can go. After the game, I thanked my family and fans. Their support had carried me through the toughest times, and I wanted them to know this victory was theirs too. I hugged my parents, waved to the crowd, and felt a deep sense of gratitude. I realized my dream was now bigger than me. It wasn't just about making it to the NBA anymore. It was about inspiring others to chase their own dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. I'd kicked open a door many thought was locked. I'd shown that with enough heart, determination, and belief, you could break through any barrier. To young dreamers, I said, they'll tell you you're too small, too slow, or from the wrong place. They'll say the odds are against you. Don't listen. Let your passion drown out their doubts. Let your work speak louder than their words. Your heart is your height. It's the measure of your courage, your drive, and your willingness to keep going when things get tough. Never let anyone measure your dream for you. Only you know how far you're willing to go, how hard you're willing to fight. I had made it to the NBA wearing the jersey I'd always dreamed of, standing on the court I'd imagined since I was a kid. But more importantly, I'd inspired a new generation. Kids everywhere now believed that if I could do it, so could they. My story became their hope. Courage and self-belief were the most important stats of all. In the end, it's not just about points or wins, it's about the heart you bring to the game and the lives you touch along the way.